All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh.
Yahweh. By all right, the Lord's gonna come back via these chariots, man. That's how our salvation is coming. Okay, and these chariots have always been around. You got it?
Con. You say when we start at 28?
Yeah.
Con. This is Luke chapter 21. Start at verse 28. Matter of fact, I can start at 27.
Okay.
It's Luke 21, verse 27. It says, "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud."
That's when he showed up in that big old chariot, you know. But you get you can read 14.
Okay.
Get in there.
Luke 14.
No, Exodus 14 slot. Yeah.
All right.
You can start. She. You can start around. Start. Let me see here. Start at. I just started at the top. Huh?
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to it.
All right. This is Exodus chapter 14 and verse 1. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pahira, between Migdol and the sea, over against Baalzephon. Before it shall ye
Oh, Slacky, you know what? Jump down to just go to 9. Just jump down 9.
All right, verse 9, it says, but the Egyptians pursued after them.
Right, and where we at today, we're in the modern day Egypt, the spiritual Egypt. So the same thing is gonna happen again. The Egyptians are gonna try to pursue us again. You know, try to take our heads off. Go ahead.
All the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen.
Yeah,
and his
so
army.
you're right. So they're gonna come with everything, man. That's that Satan coming with great wrath, because you know we have but a short time. There should be an insurrection against those that fear the Lord. Go ahead.
And overtook them encamping by the sea, beside Bahira, before Baalzephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord.
Right. So this is going to be an example of the faithful and the unfaithful, because it's going to go into. Go ahead.
Verse 11, and they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness?
Right. So they didn't have faith there. Man, you brought us out here to die. Why you bring us out here, man? We had it good back there, you know. So this was the beginning, of them not having faith, you know. But what Moses is, Aaron, Joshua. You had those men that did believe. They did have faith. They weren't worried about those Egyptians. I mean, it looked like a bad situation because you had the Egyptians coming from one way, and you had a body of water behind you, in front of you, whatever. Go ahead.
Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians?
Right, that's the same mentality Jake got today. Yeah. They just want to stay asleep, man. You tell Jake that they're Israelites and the Esau's the devil, the so-called white man that you saw and so forth. They don't want to hear that, man. They just want to just leave them alone and let them wallow around in the shit. But the reason we're bringing this out, which we're gonna get to it, is because the chariot. So the chariot's gonna intervene, just like the chariots are gonna intervene again. And this time, instead of just stopping the Egyptians, it's gonna save us from nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness.
Right, and the way that's gonna play out is gonna be like, look, we getting persecuted. Instead of just taking the chip and continuing to live life, you guys are out here getting persecuted, being hated by everybody. That's good. The unfaithful, the weak, that's what they're gonna say, and they're gonna end up taking the chip and being destroyed. Go ahead, though.
Verse 13, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Right, so that's the faith that Moses had. He already knew what was up, man. He wasn't worried about the Egyptians. Go ahead.
Which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
Right. Go ahead.
For the Lord Yahweh Shai shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward.
Right. So the Lord's telling Moses, look, you're gonna just do this. That's what you need to tell him. Just do this. Go ahead.
But lift thou up thy rod and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea.
Right. So this time we're not gonna have to go through the water, because the chariot's gonna actually deliver us this time. But let's check out what the chariot did this time, because it wasn't time for that great salvation. The strangeness of salvation wasn't for that time. It was for an appointed time. Go ahead.
And I behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen.
Here's the point.
And the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh Shemel Shai, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of the Most High.
See, there you go. So that when in the previous chapter where it said that Yahweh went forth among them in the pillar of fire, it right here tells you it was the angel of the Most High. So that's the Yahweh Shai. Because remember, Yahweh Shai said he do all things in the name of his Father. So when certain times when it say that it was the Lord in all caps, really it was Yahweh Shai doing it in the name of the Lord. You know, that's why you got to precept upon precept. Go ahead, though.
Kind. It's like in the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went before their face and stood behind them.
Kind of. So instead of hovering over them anymore, it went behind them now. Go ahead.
And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud of darkness. And it was a cloud and darkness to them.
Right.
But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night.
Right. So on one side, the chariot literally came down and put himself. Yahushua came down that chariot, which had to be a big ass chariot, to the point where they couldn't even get around it. You know, the whole night they're just looking at the chariot, and it's complete darkness on one side, but on the other side of this shit, where the Israelites are, is light, you know? So it's complete darkness. The Egyptians bugging out. Oh, shit. But that's why the Lord said in the previous verse, or up a little bit, in the 17th verse, he said he's going to harden their hearts. Because imagine seeing that, a chariot come down to the point where you can't go around it, you can't go under it. They were bugging out. They're like, oh, shit, what the hell? And then it's complete darkness, and it's nighttime. So he had to harden their heart after this chariot comes back up, so they would continue to chase him. But you know, that was the point. You know, the that light is with that pillar of fire, man. And look how it intervened. You know, that was a big ass shit, man. to the point that they just had to sit there because there was no way around it. That's that mountain, you know. That chariot, the Lord's coming on. I think about it. It was a lot of Israelites. For them to be covered during the day in the shade, they just walking around in the shade. At night, they got lights, you know. And this time, you see, it's gonna be every eye shall see him. It's gonna be a big old chariot, and then you're gonna have many other chariots where the angels gonna be in. Get that? Is it in Is in Psalms the angels of the Lord, or the chariots of the Lord, or that 20? You got it? Con, go ahead.
This is Psalm 68 and verse 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
Just like it. As the Lord said, they're amongst them, like in the holy place Sinai, because that's where the chariot was chilling, so to say. But what? All those other chariots, they're always around us, like in the Elisha, when he said there'd be more of us than there'd be of them. So they're always around. They're just not showing themselves. But sometimes they do show themselves, as you see in this video. You might see them during the day. Shit, they can disguise themselves as clouds, literally. You think you're looking at a cloud, but it's weird shade. Look like exactly like a chariot. That's most likely a chariot. And then at night, you'll see them as lights. And they come in many different lights. Get Revelation chapter 10 real quick. We'll prove that. You know, because me personally, I've seen different colored chariots. I've seen green ones, white lights, amber lights. You know, so they can come in different colors. I think it's like verse 2.
Oh yeah, this is Revelation chapter 10, and start at top verse 1. Okay. Revelation chapter 10 verse 1, it says, "And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with the cloud."
Clothed with the cloud. Go ahead.
And a rainbow was...
There you go. Go ahead and finish it.
Yep. And a rainbow was upon his head.
His rainbow was upon his head. What is a rainbow? Different colors. So this certain chariot had the lights on top. The top lights were different color lights. Go ahead.
It says, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was, and his face was as it were the sun.
Right. So it had a bright light as well. Go ahead.
And his feet as pillars of fire.
The bottom was as pillars of fire. Keep going though.
Yep. Verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot upon the earth. Right. That's that landing gears. That's how the ship was able to come down in Exodus, because they can actually land. You know, and that's how big the ship was, because one part of it was in the water and the other part was on land. Yeah. And that's what that was pretty much it on the point. We can end off on the wisdom of Solomon, because that's gonna be a strange thing, boy. When all them chairs, because again, the Lord's gonna have to
That's why the Lord's gonna harden the Egyptians again to fight against the Lord. They're gonna be scared, but He gonna harden their hearts to fight against them, knowing damn well you ain't gonna be able to beat these. They're gonna be doing impossible maneuvers. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's why scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be stability. Esau obviously doesn't have no wisdom and knowledge because he's gonna fight against those chariots. And Jake can look up in the sky. And those are supposed to be your salvation. You crying. Where the dude was talking about
call 911.
Call 911, shoot at that.
Yeah.
This is what scripture say. Look at the generations of old and see. This is what we're going into our history. This is what the Lord did to intervene always when we're in our trouble. And that's the Lord, always making a way for us to escape, and that's gonna be by His chariots in these times.
So you got it.
Yeah, I got you. Start from the top.
Yeah, you start top.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Right, just like Moses was standing in boldness, and then you had the unrighteous, all worried and shit, which of course that's a natural thing to get spooked, but when you got faith in the Lord, you gonna, and like your brother quoted, knowledge and wisdom is gonna keep you stable in these times, man. You gotta know exactly what's up there in them chariots.
We just read in Exodus 14. He said, "Stand still and see your salvation." The Lord is going to show that glory, that majesty. And that's what we all waiting on. That's why Jeremiah 14, chapter 16 and 14, it goes into that greater deliverance that's going to happen in this time. The Lord is going to put the Spirit on us to be calm, man, and see that joy. That redemption is drawing nigh. When everybody's bugging out. It says, "Before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear."
Right, because the chariots are, like the brother said, that dude, even Jake's gonna be bugging out, man. Oh my God, what is the alien invasion? Because that's what they've been portraying the chariots as: green little goblins from Mars, alien invaders. Which you're right, they are invading. the Lord's coming to invade the world and set up His kingdom and put a lot of people to death. That's why, like the movie World of Wars, which I watched it the other day. That's a great movie to watch, man. It literally depicts Second Esdras, where the Lord is zapping people and nothing could be perceived but dust and smoke. They literally show you that in the movie, and that's what's going to do that to chariots. So they're coming for salvation and for destruction as well. Go ahead.
It says, "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of His salvation."
Right, they're gonna be amazed. They're gonna be in great fear, because somebody get that etymology amazed. Read that again, what I'm
from
the verse, yeah, there's that verse. Yeah.
It says, "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of His salvation."
Yep. This is the etymology of amaze. It says overwhelmed or confounded with sudden surprise or wonder.
That He's gonna come as a thief in the night. That's gonna be that sudden surprise when the chariots just pop up everywhere, and then the big old chariot. Their people are gonna be suddenly amazed, confounded, bro. The man's heart fell in them from fear. Go ahead. That was it on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of His salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for."
Right. So this is far beyond, because this deliverance has never been seen before. Go ahead.
I got a precept. Okay. This is Micah chapter 7. Start at verse 15. It says, "According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I shoot unto him marvelous things." That's those chariots. It says, "The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hand upon their mouth. Their ears shall be deaf." So they're going into that amazement. They don't know how to react. They're just froze. You think about somebody that freezes up. Right. They can't move. They're stuck in the sand.
That's why they made that movie. See, you got to pay attention to the shit Esau be making, man. These movies and shit, and what he titles it. The movie with "The Day the Earth Stood Still." That's what's gonna happen. The Earth is gonna stand still because they're gonna be amazed, confounded. Everybody's gonna be looking up. Everybody's gonna drop what they doing and just stare up at the skies, bro.
Mouth open.
And you gonna hear the minute, "Lord, call it out, shot." And people are gonna be bugging out, crashing and shit. You're gonna be scared as hell. We gonna be crying tears of joy, screaming. Go ahead though.
Micah 7 and 17, it says, "They shall lick the dust like a serpent." They're gonna be confused.
Yep.
It says, "They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yashar power and shall fear because of thee. Yep. So the fear is gonna come by the great things the Lord's gonna do. And that's not to say, hey, the Lord giving his men spiritual powers, coming down, cracking, breaking buildings and all type of stuff like that. Ultimately it's all to glorify the Lord.
Yep. And then when you see, because when the elect go up to the chariots ain't going nowhere. They gonna be still right there, and everybody just gonna have to, whoever's get left in on the planet, they just gonna have to go through whatever happens after the missiles hit. Earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes blowing up, and then eventually we gonna come back down. The New Jerusalem gonna come down and start putting people in chains. You pulling the lead out of the bunkers. So hey, you want to make sure you get a ticket to them chariots, boy. But you got something else? All right, so with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutation, much love to Yakim. Shalom.